All right, guys, we're going to do Hope versus Elena. For a standpoint, I just want to state this before I get in it. First of all, the Gilberts, the founding family Gilberts were bad people because they went after vampires. Now, I know, a lot of you are going to say, but that doesn't matter. Okay, but you're still taking a life. Even though they're undead, you're still taking a life, whether it's vampire, werewolf, witch, or human. Humans are still taking lives. Vampires are taking lives. Wolves are taking lives. Witches are taking lives. So, here's the thing. Well, if her parents were good people, then why did they become bad people? I mean, like, if the Gilberts were such good people, why did they become bad people? Because for the most part, from my understanding, I would say that they knew about the vampires and they were constantly protecting Elena behind it. And if Klaus and Haley are considered bad by the Scooby-Doo gang of Mystic Falls, then how did Hope become such a good person? As Hope once said, when we're young, we're taught the distinction between a hero and a villain. Good and evil, a savior and a lost cause. But what if the only real difference is just who's telling the story? My name is Hope Michelson, and I come from a long line of the villains and the tales you've heard about witches, about vampires, werewolves, witches, and everything in between. Now, at the end of Legacies, this is what Hope said. When we're young, we're taught the distinction between a hero and a villain, good and evil, a savior and a lost cause. But I've learned the only real difference is just who's telling the story. My name is Hope Michelson. I come from a long line of villains. At least I used to think so, but I don't anymore. So in my regard, I mean, yeah, when you're young, you root for the hero. But when you're older, you kind of understand how the villain becomes the villain because of abuse and the trauma that they come from. So Klaus, in her eyes, and Caroline Forbes' eyes, was never the villain of the story. No one is truly pure of good or purely evil. As Loki said, no one good is ever truly good, and no one evil is ever truly evil. Klaus is evil because he wants to protect Hope and his family, always and forever. Klaus is good and kind when he's around Hope because he doesn't want her to see that side of him being evil. Klaus is not that bad. I mean, I don't even want to say it like this, but see, this is what, again, Rick writes a book about Klaus being great evil, yet time and time again, the Scooby-Doo gang needs something from Klaus, and they team up with him and everything else. The thing is that the reason I'm saying Hope versus Elena is because, in my regard, I don't think Hope is that bad of a person. I think Elena kind of was worse. She was more of a manipulative person. And what goes around comes around. Another annoying character that I found was Josie Saltzman. She was in everybody's business, always annoying, just like her Aunt Elena. And honestly, I mean, she got on my nerves and stuff. And she was in everybody's business, the same way Elena is. And personally, I just don't think that when you look at it, Elena is that great of a person. She manipulated both Stefan and Damon. She didn't know which one she loved. She had a sire bond with Damon, which is really annoying. The Gilberts are not good people in the most part because they were killing vampires and stuff. And ultimately, I just think that it was all terrible and stuff. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, guys. But I think Hope, in my eyes, is more righteous than anything else. She hasn't spilled that much blood. She killed vampires because they were evil. I mean, come on. Those vampires were evil. They were Nazis. What do you want from me? They were Nazi vampires. I mean, she didn't really kill a lot of people. She accidentally killed an innocent life when she did that. But at the end of the day, she's just killing monsters. She hasn't really killed anyone badly and stuff. Maybe one other person when her humanity was off, but that's about it. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, guys.